The tree, big and beautiful, nature's blessing, and which provides us with oxygen, the breath of life. Some relate to it as the family tree. I like to refer to it as the tree of nations. Did you know that a nation represents nationality, and that nationality is important because the constitutional rights pertain to citizenship? I was ignorant to this information, that citizenship pertains to nationality, and that a person who lacks a nationality does not have the rights of a citizen. They have granted privileges. I didn't realize the direct correlation to citizenship and nationality was so serious. And did you also know that one can trace their family roots back by knowing their nationality? Well, let's take a closer look and get different points of views pertaining to love of nationality and citizenship. Let's take a stroll.
My nationality is Czechoslovakian.
I'm Pakistani.
What is your nationality?
German-Irish.
I don't have a nationality.
I'm Russian by nationality.
What's your nationality again, Mipa?
Indian.
I'm Ukrainian.
What is your nationality again?
British.
What is your nationality?
I'm a Muslim.
If you don't know your nationality, you don't know where you came from. If you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going.
When I learned Portuguese and I could actually, say hello and speak to my grandparents, then I started, I'm so proud of this country. And I visited when I was 10 and when I was 12. It's a beautiful country. My mom's side is from Lisbon, my dad's side is from the south, so I went both areas. And so when I could actually speak to them, that's when I started feeling like I was from Portugal.
It's important that I'm Russian because I'm a Russian seed put into American soil, and I'm still going to be Russian. Right. Even though I can speak English and be loyal to the country and be American citizen, but I will rather call me Russian American than just American.
I'm proud to be an American, right? Really, because you know what? This is the land of the opportunity. It really is, right? Because the country is built on free enterprise and being free, right? And you have to be here and do what it takes.
If you don't love your people, then how can you inspire or encourage your people to become better citizens? And a citizen is a contributor to the progress of the nation where he finds himself. And we are citizens of the United States of America.
Is African American really a nationality?
No. Do you see an African American flag? Is there such thing as an African American flag? So why are you telling me about my nationality when people say they label me as African American? Can somebody show me an African American flag?
Black is considered as a nationality. I think the term is used. I mean, when I think of it personally, I try to think African American more as, just because, I don't think using the term black to identify someone is the best term to use.
Do you know that everyone in America has a nationality?
Not that I know, because some of the black Americans, they're trying to find out their heritage, where they're from, It's just maybe a few years ago. Some of them know they're from African, they are origin from Africa or from South Africa, and but before they don't know. They thought they are African American here, not from the other, from the other African country.
We have to then educate people to find out what Africa is mean about. If they have nations there, why we even don't know that, Then we have to teach people that we have nations there. It's not only one Africa.
A man, be a Negro man or a black man or a colored man or African American man, all at the same time?
Well, basically, I think it's kind of the same thing, and I say that because these are all names that the oppressor put on black people, what we call ourselves. Like everything that the white man called black people, we take up. Like, Africa is really not the name of the continent. Africa, that just means separate, and that's a white man's term on African people. So now everybody call themselves Africans. Just like black, well, I do think that African people used to call themselves black, but Negro, there's no such place called Negro land, and white man just put that on there. It's just white man just gave them that title, and all of a sudden black people just submit to the title. So I think it's the same thing, but if you want to really respect yourself, you got to find out what your own people called you instead of somebody else that oppressed your people are going to call you. You know what I'm saying? And this is no disrespect to a average white man and woman or average white person walking up and down the street. I'm just saying.
Here we have the Statue of Liberty, one of the great landmarks that all immigrants will see upon arrival to the United States of America. Once people saw the Statue of Liberty, they knew they were in the land of the free. And here's Ellis Island, which opened their doors January 1st, 1892. More than 12 million immigrants have passed through since then. Over 100 million Americans can trace their ancestry in the United States to man, woman, or child whose name passed from a steamship manifest sheet to an inspector's record book in the Great Registry Room at Ellis Island. Ellis Island closed its doors in 1954. So now the new place to go is the INS.
Now, Robin, could you explain in brief, brief, like the process that you had to go through to become a citizen, and like, could you give me the location here in Philadelphia?
Okay, well, it was a little bit ago, but I remember you have to actually go through the internet now and set up an appointment. They get an appointment back, you go through the fingerprinting process, and then they set up an appointment, you have an interview with them, and there's a mini test you take. Who was the first president. It was very simple. I didn't even know I was taking a test until it was over, right? And then after that, you actually get sworn in with your hands raised, and you can have a family member there with the front of a judge, and that's at 16th and Callow Hill. But it took, at that time, this was before 9/11, so it took about a year, but I don't know how long it takes, since then.
Did they ever use the terms colors in your, over in your country, in India and Pakistan, like black and white, how they use it here?
No, we never use this kind of terminology like not the color. No, we use the language coming from Madras, coming from Gujarat, coming from North, coming from South.
So you were able to decipher different people by their languages?
Yeah, languages and the state they come from.
So the first time you ever heard of colors is when you came to the United States of America?
Yeah.
Something new to you?
Yeah, because the South, also the little dark color, North is little fair color. We don't identify by color, we identify by language and religion.
Is African American really a nationality, would you say?
Not really a nationality. African American is just what's been termed to be what we understand it is now, what they term us to be. People of, or I would just say Asiatic people of this continent, of this world, we're diverse and everywhere around the world. 2/3 of this planet is people of color. So for you to say African American, you don't say go to French and say a Frenchman is, an African Frenchman. You never do that. They're just French. As opposed to America, they sort of, stereotyped and separated individuals for who they are, and I don't believe in that.
What is the importance of nationality?
It's an identity, basically. If you don't know your identity, then you can't find out your history, really. Because the more you know about, if you break it down to a science, like for example, I don't know too much of my identity except that I'm Mexican African, but I can't go farther than that. I can't tell if I'm from Sudan, Ethiopia, Egypt, South Africa, I don't know which one, Zimbabwe, because the records is going. So the more you know about nationality, the more you can tell about your history, because that's a big history right there. So that way you identify yourself, basically. It's just an identity, so that way you know who you are.
Nationality is important because it lets us know our place. It lets us know what our contributions were as a people. It lets us know that we are going to make monumental contributions to civilization again. So nationality is very important because without it, like it's so commonly said, you're like a tree without roots.
The time has come when every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess his own. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers. That is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774, and the word Negro, black, and colored was given to the Asiatics of America, who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and father. Come and link yourselves with the families of nations.
Oh yeah, and my nationality is Moorish American. Peace.
You can't hide your pride for your nationality. Mark your place in history, charting where your family's been. Makes your elders want to grin. You can't hide your pride. Citizenship, pledge allegiance to the place where you now live. But the land that holds your birthrights gives you privilege to the end. You can't hide your pride. Now the two flags wave together, one for government and land, but the other marks my history, for it tells me who I am. You can't hide your pride. The joy I have within me shows wherever I may be. If you don't know where you come from, then you're lost most certainly. You can't